Let me tell you why God is not blessing your business. I just remember when I was sitting at home, I woke up one morning and I was just wondering, God, why is everything in my life not reflecting anything that you show me in your word? I'm frustrated about my finance. I'm frustrated about my business. I'm frustrated about everything. I'm looking to blame anyone and everyone. And this is just not the life I thought I was supposed to live, especially as a Christian. And so I'm just sitting there, God, please help me. And I just remember, calling my mentor, calling my pastor, and I said, bro, why is my life looking the way it is? And he's sitting down, listening, asking me questions like, what do you mean? All this stuff. But anyways, he says, Grant, have you read Luke 6, verse 46 through 49? And I said, I have not read it. And so he says, pull it up. So I pull it up. He goes in and says, okay, Grant, read it. So I pull it up and I'm reading, okay, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not do what I tell you? Everyone who comes to me and hears my words and does them, I will show you what he is like. He is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid the foundation on the rock. And when a flood arose, the stream broke against that house and could not shake it because it had been well built. But the one who hears and does not do them is like a man who built a house on the ground without a foundation. When the stream broke against it, immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. He says, Grant, what do you see that passage saying? And I said, well, if you don't have Jesus as your foundation, then the storm's going to come. Because I always wondered, why are Christians not doing more, creating more, being more? And why are they struggling, having tough times? And he says, because they're saying, Lord, Lord, but not doing what he says. And literally my life flashed before my eyes. I'm realizing I've been calling God Lord, Lord, but I haven't been doing what he's telling me to do. He says, everyone who comes to me and hears the word and does them, that person's like building a house where the storm comes and it's not shaken. But those who don't do it, storm also comes and it is shaken and literally brought to ruins. And so I started looking at my life. I'm like, wow, every area of my life that I've done what God has said has stood the test of time. It's not that it was easy or that storms haven't came. Is that when storms came, it actually showed even more to trust God. And all the other areas of my life, which unfortunately was so many, I'm looking at them and I'm like, how many of those things have I really been doing what God says to do in those areas? And every single one of those areas, the storm came and boom, shakalaka, it all kept on having to get restarted. And so I said, okay, God, I am going to start doing what you said. So I started to identify what are the things that I have not done what God says to do. And I started to identify those areas, and I just started to go to work on memorizing passages, memorizing verses, going to them and really growing in those areas. So I want you to ask yourself, is there any areas where you're saying, Lord, Lord, but you're not doing what God says to do? And if so, start today. Take one area. Start applying what God says to do in those areas and tell me how much it has blessed your life. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Anything I can do to help, let me know. But until then, let's get it.